Hey, it's Joanne from No Guilt Mom, where we help you feel less guilty about all things parenting. So this week, let's talk about disciplining our kids in public. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in public, I feel like this other set of rules applies when it comes to discipline, because we have other parents around us, and that pressure from other parents, it makes me think I have to be a certain way when disciplining my child, else they'll view me as too soft. And that's really an issue for me. I don't want to be viewed as someone who is too soft in discipline, yet I know the research says that the best way to discipline is to first make sure that your child is in the space to hear it. So it's not like going head to head and yelling at them and screaming at them or being like, no dinner for you or no dessert later. It's not like that. It's more connecting with them first, making sure that their brains are in a space to hear what you're going to say, that they're not in this fight or flight response. And then teaching them and guiding them to the action without showing any anger on your part. However, when I'm out in public, it seems like something inside me closes down and forgets all of that information. I'll give you an example. So I was a chaperone for my daughter's Grand Canyon field trip. It was like a 4.5-hour bus ride. We had to get to school by 4 a.m. It was craziness. But in my group, there was a child, and we'll call him, it's always hard for me to think of fake names. I don't know why. We'll call him Chris. So Chris was a very interested and energetic kid as a 4th grader. And he really he was very inquisitive about everything. He wanted to see everything about the Grand Canyon. He liked to talk with everyone. And so we had this hike that we took from the Grand Canyon headquarters to the visitor center, which is about an hour hike. And we were supposed to all keep together as a group of 5. About midway through the hike, I'm like, where's Chris? I have no idea where he is. And he just disappeared. I called the other teachers. We got on our cell phones and called a group that had went ahead. Eventually we found, after 30 minutes of looking for this kid and wondering where did he go? Did we lose a 4th grader at the Grand Canyon? We found out that he went with the other group up ahead. Totally fine. So I got there and I saw Chris, and he was like this. And just being a teacher, you could tell, this kid has already been, yelled at and is used to being disciplined in the harshest manner possible. The one that totally depletes self-esteem by, yelling at public and humiliating the child. You could tell I have very strong feelings about this. But I saw him, and immediately I knew I wanted to make it a little better. So this other chaperone, who was actually a police officer, he was right beside me, and I talked to Chris. I'm like, oh, what happened? He's like, I just went with the other group. I'm gonna get yelled at. I know, and I'm gonna be expelled from school. And I'm like, no, you just went with the other group and got lost. That's okay. And then the police officer comes in. He's like, well, that's not the whole story. I'm like, oh, great. So it appears that Chris not only went off with the other group, which would have been fine, he then lied about it and told this chaperone, who's a police officer, told the chaperone that his chaperone, me, knew about it and that I was just right over there. He just pointed to a random woman. That's my chaperone right there. Not random, but just pointed to another woman in the group. So he lied about it. So I looked at him and I was like, I was about ready to say, oh, you shouldn't lie, because this police officer was right there. And I didn't want to be seen as the wimpy, enforcer. But I stopped myself. And I decided, okay, this is just a manner for his teacher to handle. And I need to step out of it. And I can't do it right here, because I think that everything that the teacher would do would go against what I said. And I regret that, because the teacher came and she yelled across the visitor center, Chris! It just went off on this child, and this child walked back with his head hanging low. And even an older couple walking past me, oh, Chris is gonna get it, he's in trouble. You could hear them saying this. And this kid was humiliated. all because I think that this teacher had the same response I did. She felt that she needed to be stern and like to make him fall in line. And that's not what we need to do with our kids. Discipline is about teaching. And if we humiliate them and yell at them to like such an extent, their brains shut down and they cannot hear the message that we want to get to them. Some messages for Chris would have been, hey, it's not really great to lie because all these people were worried about you. That would have been a great thing to get through. But I don't think he got that because he had to go back to school and write a 5-page paper on why he shouldn't lie and disappear from his group. And I don't think that's the best way to reach our kids. So maybe you feel this pressure too, that other people expect you to be strict and stern, and we as a society equate that with yelling and forcefulness, when really, we can show more love to our kids, wait until they're in a space to hear about it, and instead of seeking that revenge for like what we feel, the hurt we feel, being lied to and being betrayed, like all of that, we allow that space to teach and to teach behavior and how we should interact with other people. So I hope that this has encouraged you to not feel like you have to be the stern disciplinarian when you're out in public or when other people are seeing you. You don't. You do not have to be that way to be an effective parent. You don't. So remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Take care of you. Hit that subscribe button down there and be notified of all the No Guilt Mom videos coming your way. And I will see you later. Bye.